for clicking. This is my third check-in for my low buy. I do this every 3 months as a way to keep me accountable for my spending on beauty items. It's not really about money necessarily for me, but I do want to own fewer things. And so what I have is a points system. Everything that I finish is 1 point gained, but depending on how out of control a category is, the cost is different, and those points can only be spent in that particular category. Apparently I need that accountability because the last 3 months some things have happened. One of them is I made one purchase from Ulta in November, which is allowed, but it came with a bag of free stuff. So this is a bunch of sample size items that are now in my inventory. I'm not going to pull all of these out because there's just too many of them and then this video would be too long. But when I get through the categories, I will tell you how many of them I now have for that particular category. The other thing that happened is I broke a rule. So I am still subscribed to FabFitFun, which has not been a problem until this point. I have been pretty good at only choosing things for each box that I can actually have in my inventory. So it hasn't been an issue until in December, I believe it was December, I got some credit that was one of those things that I had to either spend or lose it. I couldn't save it and I didn't have much time to peruse through and look at what I wanted to get with it. So I got the advent calendar. And this, of course, was after I wasn't allowed to get the advent calendar because I did not reduce my inventory enough to reward myself that way by my November 1st deadline. So those items are actually in here not as gifts like the free stuff that I got from Ulta. They are going to be full points deducted. So if I receive something as a gift, it's -1 point regardless of the category because I didn't choose it for myself and I didn't even necessarily want it. On the other hand, the things that I purchased would be minus whatever the points came in that category. And since I did have to spend some of my own money on that advent calendar, it is going to be the full points deducted. And so my numbers aren't looking so pretty right now, as you'll see as we go through. So we're going to go through the categories that have had changes in them, starting with body care. The first is the bath products. So at the last check-in, I actually had 2 points with a cost of 2 points per item. And so that meant that I actually could buy something, and I did. I bought a bag of Dr. Teal's bath salts, which I'm not going to show you because when that was shipped to me, there's actually a little hole in the bag. And I didn't lose that much product, so I didn't even complain about it. But I don't want to carry that bag around because I don't want to be losing bath salts all over the floor. But I do own that now. I've also since finished one bath item. It was a bath bomb that was a gift that I got from a friend for Christmas, I believe 2 years ago. But it was something that was homemade, and that is gone now. So I spent the 2 points that I had, but also finished something, so that gives me 1 total point, and I still need 2 points to buy something. In this category, I have a goal of only owning 4 bath products, and I now have 5. So I'm actually really close to my goal, and I think by the next check-in, I will actually have reached my goal, which is really awesome. The next one we're going to talk about is soap and body wash. I use them interchangeably. I don't really care if it's a liquid or a solid personally. I have a goal of owning no more than 4 soaps at a time, and in the last 3 months, I've actually finished 2. This is a Fea French Vanilla and Amber scent box. I also finished one in the scent Green Tea and Ginger, but I accidentally threw away that box. So I promised there were 2 of these that I finished, and so that gives me 2 points. And that actually means that I'm now up to 5 points. And I did not buy any soaps or acquire them in any other way in the last 3 months. So I'm actually now allowed to buy one since I have the 5 points. That means that I have successfully reduced my inventory through this low buy experience. And so I'm actually going to make things a little bit easier on myself in this category. Since this category is a bit better now, I'm going to be dropping the price. Previously, I needed 5 points to buy something, and for this time I will. But from going forward, I will need only 4 points since I have improved. With body lotions, I have a goal of owning 5 at any point in time and no more than that. I currently have 23, and I also had 23 at the last update, so I did finish 2. This one and this little sample here, this was a full size. And those are empty, but I did get 2 samples in that bag that I got from Ulta that I showed you. So I gained 2 points by finishing these, but also lost 2 points by getting the samples, so it's a wash. I still have the same number of points as I did before. For foot care items, I have a goal of only owning 2 at one point in time. At the last check-in, I had 3, and I did finish this Wish exfoliating foot mask, which is great. However, I did acquire some new things. For Christmas, I was gifted a foot bath and also 6 of these Petty in a Box things from Boesch. They're all different scents, and as it happened, there was also one of these in that advent calendar. So 6 of them were gifts and 1 of them was a purchase. So that brings down my points a lot. I am now at -7 points, and I was actually very briefly at my goal. So that's unfortunate, but I do have these now and I do want to use them with my new foot bath. Then we have the hand creams. I have a goal of owning 3 and I had 4, and I still have 3 with a goal of owning 4. So I actually finished one and I don't have the empty tube with me right now, but it was a sample from L'Occitane and that's gone now. But I also got this in that advent calendar. So this actually wasn't a bad category, so this was only 1 point. And so I'm still at -1 point, just like I was before. And I'm still close to my goal, but not there yet. And the last body care item that we're going to talk about is the sunscreen. I did get a sample sunscreen in that bag, so that was -1 point. And I now have 1 more sunscreen than I wanted, but that's not exactly a crisis, and I'm sure I'll be able to fix that this summer. For the cleansers, I have a goal of owning no more than 5, and I did finish one, so that's good, even though it's a mini. But I got 4 more samples in that bag, and also this came in the advent calendar, so this one's a full size and also counts as full points since I did actually buy it. And that leaves me at a total of -9 points in the cleansers category, and I need 5 points to buy a new one. Fortunately for me, cleanser's not something I really feel inclined to buy, so hopefully I'll be able to whittle that down. I am working on a full-size one right now though, so that might take me a little while. But by the next check-in, I really do want to have at least some progress. We're into the exfoliants, and I still haven't quite finished one yet, but I did get a sample, so that gives me -1 point. I have a goal of owning 2, and I currently have 9. So minus a point with a goal of having to finish 4 before I can buy a new one. Again, this isn't a category I really feel inclined to buy a lot of, and I will be finishing an exfoliant very soon, I'm sure of it. For the masks, I did finish one. I had this in the mask category, so these were blackhead strips that you put on your nose. And so this is just where I stuck it, so that was 1 point that I gained. But I did get a sample mask in that bag, so that came out as a wash. I still have 2 points, and I need 4 points to buy a new one, and hopefully I'll be able to do that next time. I actually might be able to, we'll see. But in any case, I still have 18 masks that I need to work through. My serum category was looking better. I had 5 points, needing 10 to buy a new one because this category has been ridiculous, and I did finish one more, which brought me up to 6 points. However, there were 4 serums in that sample bag, so that brings me down to 2 points, and I feel like I'm kind of starting over, but that's how it is, and I'm still better than I was originally, so there is that, but it's going to be a while before I buy a new serum, as I currently own 35 of them. With acne treatments, I have a goal of owning 2 of them, and I had 4, but I did finish one. So these stickers are now gone, so I gain a point. I need 1 more point before I can buy a new one, and that's just fine. So at least I have improvement in this category as far as skincare goes. With the daytime moisturizers, I have a goal of owning 4, and at the last time I had 5. I didn't finish any more, but I did get a sample, so I'm now at -1 point, and we're moving backwards just a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to have one finished by the next check-in. I think I should, but I'm not entirely sure. With the face sunscreen, similarly, I didn't finish anything, but I did get a sample, so I went from 0 points to -1, and I need a total of 5 points to buy another one. I own 15 face sunscreens. They are mostly samples, so at least I could realistically finish those pretty quickly once I start spending time outside, which I haven't been lately because it's been pretty dreary and also getting dark early. My night creams were another category that was drastically improving as of the last check-in. Nope, we definitely went backwards. There were 6 samples of night creams in that bag, plus this was in the advent calendar. So this by itself was 8 points, and I am now at a total of -9 points in this category, which really upsets me because I was doing so well. But I do still have 32 different night creams, mostly sample sizes, but still way too many. And I'm hoping to be at least down 2 by the next check-in. We'll see. I did finish this night oil, which I had in the night cream category since I used it in place of a night moisturizer. So there was that for what it's worth. We actually do get another success story within the skincare, and that is for eye cream. I finished 3. So these 2 were samples, but there was also a full size I finished that I don't have with me because I'm going to franken something in it, and so it's not with my empties. I did have -1 points because there was something I bought and I shouldn't have, But now I'm at positive 2, and my cost for new eye cream is 2 points. So I actually can buy a new one. And in other news, since my goal was 4 and I now own 3, I have now met my goal. And I've actually decided that I'm going to drop that goal. So I'm going to have my goal at 3 now instead of 4, since I don't really think I need 4. That one full-size one that I used lasted me over 7 months. So I think 3 is plenty still. Into the hair care and starting off with hair color, I did finish 1. So I have 1 point in this category. I now have 6 different hair color products. My goal was 2. So I have not gotten any more, which is great. And so I have my 1 point and I need to finish 3 more before I can buy one. For the shampoo, I did finish 2, so that's helpful, but I also acquired 2. One was a sample in that sample bag and one was in the advent calendar. So I'm actually now at minus 1 point for shampoos, and that's okay. At least I kind of broke even in numbers anyway, even if not in points, and we'll keep working on it. I'm working on full-size ones right now, so it's going to be a little while. I'm not going to have a whole lot of progress in this category until next time. For the conditioner, I did finish 1, and so that gives me 1 point. I need 3 points to buy a new one, and I have progress. Hooray! So my goal is to own 4, and I now own 8 different conditioners. So I'm working on it, and this is 1 more empty. Now into the hair masks, good news, I did not acquire any, and I did finish 1, and it's a full size. So this is gone now, and I now have 3 points with a price of 6 points to buy a new one. So I'm halfway to that, and I have 8 hair masks total with a goal of owning 2. So working on it, slowly getting there. For the wet styling products, I did finish 2. This was actually not in my inventory in the first place. I found this when I was moving. It was in a travel bag and it wasn't in my inventory. And I did not lose any points when I put this in my inventory because I did not buy it. It wasn't a purchase. I already owned it. So I didn't lose anything when I found it, but I gained a point by finishing it. So that gives me 2 points. However, there was a sample and also something in the advent calendar. So my total is now minus 6 points, and I need 6 points to buy a new one. So there is still more than I really want in this category. I'm really not entirely sure what you do with all these hair products, but I'm picking them off one by one, and hopefully I gain some ground. Onto the base makeup, and for the primers, I have a goal of owning 3 primers, and I need 8 points to get a new one. I currently have 23, and that's after finishing this, and I actually got another sample of this, so it's kind of like I didn't use it at all. Plus there was a second sample primer in that Ulta bag, so I am now at 0 points. So that's tragic, but I am close to finishing a couple more, so I'm going to be back in positive numbers by next time, I'm sure of it. For the foundations, I finished 1. This is technically categorized as like a BB tinted treatment primer. I just used it as a foundation and primer in one step. And so this was point number 3, and I needed 3 points in order to get a new foundation. So I will be able to buy one of those, and I am now down to 7 foundations, which is pretty cool. I have a goal of owning 4, so I am getting closer. And since I am getting closer, I am once again going to drop the price. I will need 3 points to buy my next foundation, but after that, it's only going to be 2 points since I am narrowing in on my ultimate goal. The concealer, I also had 2 existing points with a need to get 3 points to buy a new one, and I finished a sample concealer, which actually does count. I had this listed as its own line in the category, so I now have enough points to buy a new concealer as well. And similarly, my goal was to have 3 concealers at all times. I now have 4, and I'm going to drop my price. So instead of needing 3 points for the concealer after this, I will only need 2, since I am getting closer to my goal. For the powders, I have 1 more powder, but it counts as a gift. This is something that I got as my diamond gift from Ulta. I get a lot of services at Ulta, so it's not all products. I did get my hair done there, I get my eyebrows waxed there, so that counts as points. That has a lot to do with how I got to diamond status, but this I got for free, so it counts as 1 point, which means I'm now at minus 1 point in setting powder. But I have this now for free, which is cool. For brows, my goal is to own 2, and at the last update I had 1 point from finishing 1 earlier, and I got a free brow product in that bag. So there goes my 1 point, and I'm back to where I started, and I need 7 points to buy a new brow product. The cream and liquid shadows are kind of ugly because I have a goal of owning 5. I'm now up to 21. So I had gotten 2 as gifts, and then I had 1 in that advent calendar. So that was actually a total of minus 6 points. I needed 4 points to get a new one, and now I'm 10 points off of that, but whoops. Eyeliners actually come out as a wash. I did get a sample liner in that bag, but also I finished a liquid liner. I just could not get a nice wing out of it anymore. so it's gone. There just wasn't enough product. Like I could get like the outline of a wing, but then it wouldn't fill in. And so that was upsetting, and so that's gone now, but that means I'm still at 0 points. I still want 7 eyeliners, and I own 27. For mascara, I am actually at -6 points because they're still breeding. I got 3 new ones, they're samples, and I have not finished any. So I now have 36 mini mascaras with a goal of owning 3 mascaras total. I have not quite finished a cream blush yet. I am very close, but I got one in that advent calendar, which costs me 3 points because I needed 3 points to buy another cream blush. So I have this Tower 28 one now, and -3 points, and I have a goal of owning 2 cream blushes, and I now have 7. But at least I should be able to get my number back to where it was, even if it won't make up the points, because I will finish one quite soon. Now we're into the lips. For the lip liners, I am up 1 because I got a sample in that bag. So that is -1 point for me. Brings me to a total of -2 points because I had gotten another one for free previously. I now have 5 lip liners with a goal of owning 2. Lip balms is actually good news. I did finish 3 of those. Here's 2 of them. I don't have the other tube with me because I'm keeping it to Franken something in it, and so it's in a different pile, and I didn't bring it, and I don't feel like getting it. But there were 3 that I finished, and that brings me to a total of 2 points. I need 3 to buy a new lip balm, so I'm 1 off, and frankly, I have plenty of lip balms. I own 12. Probably not going to buy another one anytime soon, and I have the tinted balms in a different category. So this is just the plain lip balms that I use to hydrate my lips. And then for nail polish, I did finish one. So this gives me a total of 2 points, which means I can buy another. My goal is to own 12 nail polishes. I'm now at 19. So I actually did buy another nail polish. It's like a silvery one, and I actually left that at my parents' house. So I do own it, but it's not with me. And you'll see it at some point, I'm sure. It's like a silver glitter topper because I had one and I loved it, and I finished that one a while ago and I wanted another one, so I bought it. Then we have fragrance, which is a sad, sad story. I got 3 samples in that bag, plus there was a perfume in the advent calendar. And I also figured out that this column wasn't totaling correctly, so my initial total was wrong, and I didn't penalize myself for the total being off, but in total I have -13 points. And I own 37 perfumes of various sizes. So that's really unnecessary, and I really want to focus on getting perfume samples out for the next several months. So you're going to see some data on the screen in which I'm tracking how each category has moved and exactly how excessive it is. And the only 2 that have actually gone down over the last 3 months are my hair care category and my lip category. And everything else either stayed the same or went up. And overall, the size of my collection went up. So I am at 750 items, which was actually my initial starting point when I started this. So I have lost all the ground that I had, and I'm back to square one. But I'm actually not quitting. I'm still going to continue doing this. I think the Christmas season did kind of hurt me there, and so I think I can gain some back. If I make it to 650 items by November 1st, I will be allowed to buy an advent calendar. Hopefully I'll actually stick with that this time and not just buy one anyway. But here's where I'm at now, and I'm hoping that shrinks over the next few months. And the next check-in is going to mark 1 year of me tracking empties, which I've never done before. So that'll give me an idea of how much I use in a year, which would be useful information. So wish me luck. Good luck with your low buys and no buys or whatever you're doing. And I will see you in 3 months. Bye.